Yeah.
Is it a star player's responsibility to recruit or try to recruit other stars to his or her team? Or does that fall solely on the front office, management, personnel, coaches?
I mean, I think in this NBA it is, right? Because the players want so much say, and they have a lot of say, when they want to be it's the only sport where the player wants to be traded, he gets traded 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
With the star players. And that doesn't happen in football. That certainly doesn't happen in baseball.
No.
I mean, it happens once in a while in those sports, but it's rare. I don't know if it happens in hockey. I'm not sure. But in the NBA, the players have a ton of power. LeBron wants to be the GM when he's on every team, but then he gets nut. I think it's funny, as much as I like LeBron, LeBron wants to put together every team. When it goes badly, he never gets the blame.
Not only does he not get the blame, he blames everyone else for doing what he wanted done.
He wanted Russell Westbrook. It doesn't work.
What'd you go and get Russ for?
Right. It's never LeBron's fault.
His man backdoor him. He turned around and look at you as you take the ball out. That was your man, LeBron, not mine. What are you doing?
LeBron never gets blamed for anything. But yeah, I think the superstars do owe it to the team to recruit.
Look, I think you're lame if you don't. Even when we started this show, and people to popular, conclusions. People think that Bull just was like, you know what, I'm leaving and I'm already coming here. Bull was not really thinking he was going to be on this show, and then Steve was like, hold on, this Adam the Bull character. It looks like he's done where he's at. He's do you know him? I said, yeah, I work with him at the Fan all the time. He said, you mind texting him? See what, I text Bull like, hey, yo, they trying to do this show, blah, blah, blah. This is what it is. Now, after that, obviously, Steve and the rest of the upper higher-ups took it and we got the deal done. But that'd be dumb as hell for me to be like, oh, well, there's a great guy who's good at his job. I want the best panel in the world on your Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Of course I'm going to make a call. I don't know, would you need me to mow some grass too or what? You should be, you have to be, if you want to win, it's dumb as hell for you to be like, well, that's not my job to do that.
Right.
Come on, bro. You don't want to win or not? What are we doing here?
Jason?
It shows. I mean, we're using the NBA as an example. It applies to all sports, though. If the star of your team, if the franchise pillar is reaching out to guys and saying, I want you, of course that's going to move the needle. Yes, that's part of the responsibility of being the face of something. It means a lot more when guys police their own locker room. It means more coming from another player than it does coming from a coach or a GM.
Good.
A GM recruiting you, it does not have the same effect as Patrick Mahomes picking up the phone and saying, hey, I want you in Kansas City. Or LeBron picking up the phone and saying, come to L.A. or Donovan here or whatever the case may be. Yeah, of course it falls as part of their duty. Now, the problem is if you got a year left and a guy didn't want to stay or he's on his way out, that's where you run into problems where it's not going to happen. But if you're committed to a place long term, part of your responsibility, part of your duty to the organization to make yourself better is to go out and recruit guys. Yeah,
I think I read it was a short on, and Dwayne Wade was saying how it was the year that LeBron was recruiting him. And he said notoriously LeBron keeps all his cards to his vest, even with some of his best friends. And Dwayne Wade was telling him like, "Come on, bro, I know you want to play in LA. I know you do. You just gotta let me know what time it is."
Yeah.
And he said he was mad because LeBron kind of sold him on it. He got here, and then the Cavs traded him in I guess it was 4 months of him being here. Whatever.
Well, that was a disaster.
And he was just like, I wish I'd have never came.
Well, I didn't hear that, but Dwayne that's a whole other. We could do a whole show on Dwayne's brief time in Cleveland. That wasn't well received from the start.
Yeah.
People with the Cavs didn't really want Dwayne here. It was and LeBron admitted that to me. On the record, LeBron said there wasn't a whole lot of guys with it. It was with a lot of resistance. That was the last year when LeBron was here. And they were making a clear pivot in the organization away from what he was doing.
Yep.
He wanted Jamal Crawford. They signed Jetty Osman. He wanted Griff back. They got rid of Griff and they brought Kobe in.
Yep.
And Dwayne was the one move where they sort of acquiesced to him and let Dwayne come here. And he didn't fit in the locker room. He didn't fit anywhere. And they had to get him out at the trade deadline just to
Why
cleanse
did he not
things.
fit in the locker room if he and LeBron are so close?
Yeah, but they didn't have. They had D Rose and Crowder. And then I heard Crowder didn't get along with.
Crowder didn't really fit either. Dwayne and I don't know if a lot of people know this or not. Dwayne and Kevin.
Really?
It was not good.
Really?
It was not good between Dwayne and Kevin at all. At all.
Why?
Did not know.
Just a personality conflict. It just didn't work. And Kevin was the established guy who'd been here for a number of years, and Dwayne was the one that they moved on from. It just didn't work in the locker room.
And then you had Isaiah Thomas, who I hear didn't work as well.
Oh God, he was, and I mean Isaiah talked a lot, which aggravated some guys in there. But also Isaiah was trying to salvage his career, and he was trying. Like I think we talked about this. Like when they went to Napa. Like they stopped the season and went and got drunk for a day and a half in Napa. And Isaiah was trying to get back. That's when he was trying to come back from the hip. So they had to like stop their wine trip and go find a gym somewhere in wine country, a high school gym, and get a run in because Isaiah kept like wanting to practice. He needed to get on the court. But that was a disaster from the start. He was trying to rejuvenate his career. He was just jacking shots from everywhere. He didn't fit in the offense.
I forgot. So you had Jay Crowder, didn't work. D Wade and Kevin Love don't work. Isaiah Thomas is trying to get his money off and get back on the court. LeBron is like having an issue with the organization because they ain't doing what he's saying.
And he's leaving at the end of the year.
And he's leaving at the end of the year. And he wanted him to use that number 8 pick to go get something.
Well, and now here's.
And J.R. Smith doesn't know the score. What about it?
But though, I mean, that was my. I mean, this is what I wrote after the Kyrie trade. It was a bad deal from the start. Because all they wanted was the pick. And my point is you got a chance to win a championship, screw the pick.
Yeah.
If you really feel like you have to trade Kyrie, go get pieces that can help you win now.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. That whole trade was built around the 8 pick. I had people tell me at the trade, Isaiah's cooked. Like Isaiah will never be Isaiah again. The injury was similar to what Johnny Flynn had. And Johnny was never the same. And Johnny was never – the hip destroyed him. Johnny – I mean, I don't know if he would have been an NBA great or not, but the hip injury he had destroyed his career.
It's the Bo Jackson game, bro. That just goes to show you, man, like it's just very fragile. Dang, that is – and that 8 pick ended up turning to be Colin Sexton.
Which became Donovan Mitchell.
Wow.
With everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I went round and round with them for years about
Yeah.
Colin and what they tried to build him into
Right.
and whatever else. And people, I got yelled at all the time for being mean to Colin. I'm like, guys, Colin is not what they're trying to build him into.
He's a guy.
And we've seen that. Like, we've seen it play out in Utah.
Damn. We had Colin Sexton and Baker.
And those were the saviors of Cleveland.
they was
Colin
fighting
Sexton
hard.
and Baker.
Was Colin really on the same level as Baker
No.
in terms
No,
of not as a
no,
player,
no.
but in terms
Not
of
even
like
close.
line in the sand, you're one side or the other on said player?
Well, that part probably is true.
Yeah, but to a much lesser level.
Yeah, to a
lower
much.
level.
But there, I mean, I said for years, Colin's a bench player. That's it. He's just a bench player. And
don't
people went crazy.
Because
But the one
he
thing
had 24, he was getting almost 25 a game, and people were just. And you got to think at that time that's the Andre Drummond years. Like so, they didn't.
The Cavs sucked.
Oh, they were bad.
I will say
people
though,
have to score.
I will say though that initially, I think most of us, including the three of us none of us were big Baker supporters in this group, unlike Jay and some others.
Yeah.
But initially, I wasn't anti-Baker.
Oh,
None
no.
of us were.
Coming off his rookie year, I thought he was
Yeah.
legit.
No, Baker had don't get it twisted. He had moments. He had a lot of moments.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you couldn't compare him and Colin Sexton because Colin he scored on a bad team.
Yeah.
Right. Post LeBron. So that's a little different, but yeah,
Baker
polarizing.
played nice as a rookie, and then his second year he was not good. And then the third year he got off to a bad start, and then the back 2/3 of the season he played very well. But that's been it.
And I'm gonna have to keep it real. Somebody try to float me some stats for Deshaun Watson, say 3,700. No, that's a Baker year.
Yeah, right.
That's a 2020 Baker year. 27 touchdowns. I had to keep it real with because we said 37 wasn't good enough. 37 and 28 touchdowns and 600. We said that was not good enough. So I gotta keep it real.
Yeah. But initially, rookie year, I think most of us were on board for Baker.
Yeah.
We thought he had more upside than he turned out he had.
I mean, but this is what I can understand. What I'm trying to do this year, I'm trying to put myself in other people's shoes to understand them. I'm trying to work on that. And I will say this, if you go back and watch Baker Mayfield his rookie year, Baker Mayfield would let throws go. Like Baker would he would sneak balls in these little small windows you'd be like, man, that's a hell of a like that's a big time.
He made Brashard Perriman look like a #1 receiver.
Oh,
Well, now he's competing for the Bucks job. With, some slappy.
Bull is always there to never let you remember. Don't fall off too, guys. Don't give him too
listen,
much.
I'm not saying
His rookie year.
I gave him his credit when it was due.
I don't know what happened.
They had to move on. I think.
I don't
we
know
all knew
what
that.
happened, bro. He was on a trajectory. It wasn't like he was Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold hasn't showed me nothing. Josh Rosen showed me nothing.
No.
That year, he was like that first year, that euphoria. Remember they opened them coolers against the Jets?
Oh, yeah.
That euphoria in the city.
That was a fun year. No doubt.
That was like, whoo.
That was a fun year, and so was 2 years